So President Trump just posted this. Thank you, Nara. Thank you so much for bringing this to our attention. Saying, I'm in the Oval Office at the White House where we just had a very good call with President Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan of the United Arab Emirates, Emir Tamim bin Hamid bin Khalifa Al Thani, Prime Minister Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman bin Jassim bin get shorter fucking names, bin Jaber Al Thani, and Minister Ali Al Thi of Qatar, Field Marshal Sayyid Asim Munir Ahmed Shah of Pakistan, wait, President Tayyip Erdogan of Turkey, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi of Egypt, King Abdullah II of Jordan, and King Hamad bin Isa al-Khalifa of Bahrain concerning the Islamic Republic of Iran and all things related to the Memorandum of Understanding pertaining to peace in all caps. An agreement has been largely negotiated, subject to finalization between the United States of America, the Islamic Republic of Iran, and the various other countries as listed. Separately, I had a call with Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu of Israel, which likewise went very well. Final aspects and details of the deal are currently being discussed and will be announced shortly. In addition to many other elements of the agreement, the Strait of Hormuz will be reopened. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. So, Nara, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to, Sadata, do you mind we talking about this and then go back to your topic?
No, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shauna, you can respond.
I would just like you to paraphrase all of that without all the fucking Arab names, please, because I glazed over about halfway through the first one. Thank you.
So President Trump just posted saying basically that we have a deal with the Islamic Republic. That's the summary.
Okay, Ian. Oh, I'm sorry, Sketch.
Yes, but does it say we have a deal or we are working out the deal? Is there any what I would call caveats to it? Because I thought I heard some caveats in there. We were close to a deal. We're working out a deal. We're ironing out. If it says ironing out, it means we don't have a deal because we still have to iron stuff out, right?
Good point.
So he loves to put caveats in there that will probably make the IRGC think, okay, they accepted our deal. But if you read it closely, if it was in a legal court of law, it would say, hey, we didn't say we had it. We said we were ironing things out, and threw a lot of names in there.
Yeah. So to Sketch's point, this is the part of it that makes it that it shows that it's not final. It says an agreement has been largely negotiated, subject to finalization. So that's to Sketch's point.
Armin, he said it will be announced shortly. So is it possible that shortly we may have an attack or complete defeat? I don't know. It's like 0 to 100.
Also, Nara, it could also be shortly we will announce that this is almost finalized. I mean, with Trump, it could be anything. We could also get it.
Yeah.
You could also get shortly we will announce, and the announcement could be like we're close to finalization. So that also might happen.
Yeah, I mean, we're all wishful thinking that shortly there's going to be rockets going in, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeffrey wanted to...
Forgive me, I had to take a bio break real quick. So here's what jumps out at me. So he goes through and he's talked to everybody, like all the Gulf states, Pakistan, and Sketch nailed it. So an agreement is bound subject to finalization between the United States of America and the regime remnants and various other countries as listed. This sounds more like, to me, Pakistan or elements that are a little iffy via like Some Gulf states are like, yeah, we don't want our, they're worried about drones hitting their refineries and all the rest of it. Here's this deal. Well, that's great. How do you get the mullah regime to agree to it and not fire on people? Right? That's the issue. I mean, I've heard this before. We've seen this before. Still, like, all the indicators point towards military action as I outlined before. I mean, it's not 100%. That said, what did he say? Subject to finalization between the United States of America and the regime remnants. I don't want to call them the Islamic Republic of Iran, an occupying force. So it'll be interesting to see what gets posted soon. And then the question becomes, what happens when the regime remnants, elements of the regime, don't adhere to any ceasefire? Regardless of what happens, and this has always been my position since I started, since you people graciously allowed me to be here. I'm a visitor in this space. This is your space army. Ultimately, the goal of liberating Iran, the final nail comes from the Iranian people. And that very much is dependent upon track 2 material support, as I've kind of outlined a couple of times. It's also why hearing things like Armin's army is so important, right? So I would just use those, I would keep those caveats in mind when reading into this post. It could mean any number of things. Even if there is a deal, how does the regime remnants, how do you ensure that elements of the regime remnants don't violate it? I can't even imagine how. The only way I could see the deal being positive is agree with all that, and the regime remnants is like, yep, fuck it. They're going to leave Iran because they'd rather live in some, as Putin's bitch, than get blasted into atoms by, say, GPS guided munition. I mean, that would actually be ideal for any of us, because that means it's over. I don't even know what this could possibly mean, given all the challenges that have undermined efforts at even trying to realize a deal.
By the way, just guys, I want to tell you guys in the chat, a lot of people are saying that this is diversion. Some people are very upset. Some people are saying, "Don't. This is not a deal." But I see many people being really concerned. Somebody, Roy, saying, "Dude, I can't take this anymore." Cyrus was saying, "I'm losing my mind now. I'm going crazy." Ida saying, "My stomach hurts and I want to cry." So there's a lot of stress over this news right now in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, we're all sitting at the edge of our chairs. What was I gonna say? I wanted to say something. I forgot. Oh, in the last couple of days, just by scrolling on X, I've seen so many people posting about there's a discussion, there's a deal, there's something that's already there. It was pushed by Al Arabiya, it was pushed by Al Jazeera, and all of that. So this could also be a response to rumors that, oh, they're going to sign a deal and whatever. So maybe he's just saying, okay, I'm just taking a look at it, if that makes sense. I don't know. Okay, Sketch, you're next. Oh, Sketch just spoke, right?
Yeah, well,
Not
I
about
wanted
these.
to
I'm
start-
stressed now.
Yeah. It's okay.
I wanted to touch on some specifics. We just had a good call. That's what this post is about having a good call. He said related. The call is related to a memorandum of understanding pertaining to peace. That's a whole lot of caveats. Then later, largely negotiated, largely, which means not totally, negotiated, subject to finalization, which means not done. Okay, final aspects and details of the deal are currently being discussed. So this is not a deal because details and aspects are still being discussed, right? And in addition to many other elements of an agreement. The more you read this, the more it sounds like nothing. The more it sounds like every other deal talk that I have heard before. There's nothing specifically in here that makes me think this is final, that this is something that's been signed or is about to be signed, because there's 5 caveats here that says we don't have the words in right and we're not agreeing on the words that are going to be in there.
Doesn't it also not sound like what we had right before Operation Epic Fury, like some version of that?
100%.
Yeah, so many of us had lost hope already, especially on that last day of the strike, both people outside and inside, because I was talking to my friend on the day of the first attack, and we were both like venting about how they all left us up in the air after the massacre and everything, and then on the same day the first strike happened. But again, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like we're reading too much into things. At the same time, we have our wishful thinking and hope taking over. So I don't know. The psychological warfare is so real. That's all I can say. Kat, you're next.
Yeah, I just want to report the details like I usually do. I just see in the last, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, so many tankers leaving Israel. I don't know. It's not like, oh, this is happening. It's happened before, but not in the last couple of days. That I just want to point this out. If you look at the map, it looks like a lot. That's just that. Okay?
Thank you. Uncle Coping.
Yeah, thank you. I don't really take that negotiation thing too seriously. As far as I can tell, no one has moved the needle at all. It's just more different rhetorics, really. And I think it has more to do with trying to. I think that's a good question. Like, why haven't the Americans begun making any ground invasion moves or anything like that? And rather than trying to discuss exactly where they would try to go, I think I have another question. I wonder what you guys think. Because it was quite peculiar to see all those militias like the Fatimiyun, Hashd al-Shabi, and Zainabiyun just move in, and neither the Americans or even the Israelis did anything. The columns were so, you just strafe them once and you can get a ton of them. Why wouldn't they do it? And one of the good suggestions, I believe Armin came with, was that these are mercenaries. They need to be paid in US dollars. And as this blockade keeps going, it might be, this is where I'm speculating. I wonder what you guys are thinking. It might be that both the Americans and the Israelis are holding off, waiting to see confirmation that the Islamic Republic's reserves are low. And the confirmation they're looking for is that the militias will begin to melt away. For when they do, that probably will suggest that the IRGC is also starting to lack payment, which may be easing the ground invasion for the Americans. I mean, they probably wouldn't want to really make a full invasion anyways. They probably want to have as little as possible. So if they can prep the scenario to be such that they basically just kick in the door and the whole house of cards collapses, then this might be explaining, I think, a bit why they may not have made a move yet. But yeah, what do you guys are thinking on that?
Noah, go ahead.
I mean, part of me doesn't know what to believe anymore. I mean, we've heard the same things over the past few, it feels like days, weeks, months, but it does seem similar to what it sounded like on February 27th. So who knows? He might say this and then tomorrow we have boom boom. I don't know. I don't know at this point. But the psychological warfare, what Kat said is, or whoever said it is real. Is very real.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it's affecting the IRGC the same way it's probably affecting them the same way it's affecting us. So
Yeah.
I hope they
Nara,
are
you know what?
suffering.
Actually, I think people who want to keep hope, they shouldn't blame Iranians for worrying, because as much as you want to tell us that, okay, don't worry, this is not a deal, but at the end of the day, we don't know what's going to happen. And it's the future of our nation that we're talking about. We're in the darkest chapter of the history of our country, and we can't be for sure 100% sure which direction this is going. So I mean, I appreciate everybody caring us and wanting to motivate us, but if you put yourself in our perspective, that we're talking about millions of people's lives, and this roller coaster is really hard. It's really hard. And even if you said like have faith, we can't 100% be sure what's about to happen, and we're just like sitting back and just seeing, looking at other people discussing the future of our country, not knowing exactly where this is heading. It's really difficult. It's really difficult. I don't think other
Yeah.
people, anybody here, have ever experienced the future of an entire nation of 90 million people just being talked about by people, other people, and it could go either way. We could be, we like we're discussing whether heaven and liberty and freedom and prosperity, or absolute darkness and hell and death and execution and slaughter. And we like, for the rest of the world, this is the news. For us, this is between two extreme for the future of not just us but our children and our grandchildren for decades and decades to come. And it's not easy to just go through. It's really not that easy to just like watch
Yeah.
this. So just if we lose patience, just like if it's difficult for all of us, and if you believe in your politicians, just understand that it's not as easy to just tell us to have hope. Okay.
Yeah, and I wanted to highlight something. Shadi in the chat says that if we are this affected by it, imagine the people inside Iran. And it reminded me of one thing. I wrote it in a super chat that one of my friends that I completely lost contact with since day one of the war managed to finally message me, and I'll send her voicemails to you, voice messages to you, Armin, so you can hear it for yourself. She was under the impression, and I would think a lot of other people are as well, just because of the lack of communication, that she was saying there's a lot. She literally asked me, she was like, Nare, is it true that they say that Trump screwed up and that the Islamic Republic won? She literally asked me that because she's also not sure, and that's the rumor spreading around people there, because they don't have they're not sure what's exactly happening. They don't have access to internet, social media, the general public. They can't find out for themselves, right? They have a limited source of information. And so you're right, Shadi. Even people inside are not sure what to think. So especially with rumors like this, it's going to affect them 100% more than how we feel right now.
Very well said. Thank you.
Jose, you're next.
Okay. Historical context. To Sabato's original question about the boots on the ground. Yeah, I can see boots on the ground. I don't know what size force. I am not a combat planner. I can't answer that, but I can see boots on the ground. I can see boots on the ground because of two things. I don't know where you're from, where your ethnic background's from, but I do know this. The United States was looking at the invasion of Japan and looking at a total slaughter. They were expecting to lose 1 million soldiers in that invasion, 1 million. So Truman decided to drop a bomb on Hiroshima. That's the only time in history that an aerial bombardment has won an all-out war. And it wasn't that first bomb, it was that second bomb. And when the Japanese general staff lost contact with those two places, then your shit was up. But it still took the emperor and the loyalty of those majority of those soldiers to the emperor to bring peace. So be careful. Nari Armin, I still think this is a 5D chess. I think Trump has talked about the 42,000, 45,000, whatever number he comes up next. And I think that affected him. And we don't know what the deal is. Were the terms discussed? No. So we don't know what it is. If they finally said, yeah, you can have all the nuclear material and all this kind of stuff, there's a possibility that there's a deal. If what the cardboard Ayatollah staff announced was no deal, which was that, we'll see. I don't have any confidence it'll be signed.
Thank you. Before Armin leaves, I know, Armin, you have to leave, but we want to hear out Jeff as well.
I wanted to respond to what Armin said. There is another group of people whose experience very much rhymes with what you go through. It's not the same, and that's Ukrainians and members of the broader Ukrainian diaspora. It's also why they so
Jeff, can you
much.
get closer to the microphone because there's
Can
a
you,
little bit.
can you hear me now?
Yes. There.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I was going to say I was responding to what you shared, which is very powerful. There is a group of people that it's not exactly, it definitely rhymes though, and that's Ukrainians and the broader Ukrainian and Ukraine's broader diaspora. So I'm going to share with you what I shared with them because you're right, right? There's like, what's the concrete? The not knowing is there's nothing really concrete you can hold on to, especially when you're at like the bloody edge of it, right? And you're the one suffering. The concrete effort you can hold on to and redouble, this should redouble your efforts is track 2 material support, setting up self-sustaining nodes that then would realize that final push you that Iranians need to liberate Iran that operates in conjunction with, yet independent of anything that happens at the national level. That's what I shared with Ukrainian resistance, and I'll reiterate it again to you now. Now, that doesn't mean like it's this administration has signed a deal. I'm just saying because that's something you're going through. Every one of you, every one of us, right? You more than me. I mean, I'm just again a visitor in this space. This is a space that you and every other member of the broader Persian diaspora and or Iranian diaspora live in. That would be my best advice to you. So that even though there are times where the mullah regime will try to make it seem hopeless, which it's not, you will never feel helpless. Regardless of where things shake out, I promise you, the thing that the mullah regime can never underwrite or erase is the fact that Iranian people will never be alone again in whatever path it takes to realize Iran being free. You will never be alone again.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Armin, you can do the super chats or you can do it on your live. I don't know whatever you decide because I know
I'll
have
do
to
it
leave.
right now because I need to do it in this live before I go. But guys, before I read the super chats, the people watching us, the 1,200 people are watching us right now live. And if you guys want to join this discussion group that you see right now on screen, the link is in the description. And tomorrow's discussion group is not VIP, is open to all. So make sure you join us tomorrow. The link is in the description or in the bio. The link could also be, you could also get the link by scanning the QR code at the top left. And also the link is in the chat. Also, I'm going, once I end this live stream, I'm going to go live again in 30 minutes from now with Ali. We're going to be discussing exactly this, the recent update by President Trump. Is there a deal? Is there no deal? What are the chances of military operations or no military operations? Ali and I are going to go over that. We're going to see what Ali thinks. So make sure you have you're back here on Liberty Politics YouTube channel. So we could go over that with you guys. I'm going to be paying a lot closer attention to the live chat to communicate with you guys and what you think. So make sure you come back. Let me go through the super chats. We got 10 super chats. Thank you guys. That's very generous. Dominic saying more for the piggy bank. Thank you so much, Dominic. And then we have Casey saying Pahlavi will return before the end of the year. Hope you're right, Casey. And we have dumb motherfucker saying, I already hated Trump. This is the nail in the coffin. You don't know what's happening yet. Wait, hold on your judgment. But you continue saying, I'm sorry to all my Iranian friends. Man has absolutely no backbone. Iran has effectively won. Well, I mean, if this happened, it's not Iran that has won, it's the regime. But just don't judge until we get the full information. And thank you for the super chat. And then we have Shannon saying a whole bunch of Arab leaders met with Trump and came up with a proposal to present to Iran. That's what all this means. Yeah, but we don't know that because this is like, remember, guys, we were judged like there was a lot like not well, not me actually, like there were a lot of people in our chat that were judging too early. You might be right, you might, but you don't know, because a lot of people were judging too early right before Operation Epic Fury. So we have to learn from that mistake. Okay, just wait and see what happens. And thank you, Shannon, for the super chat. And we have Curtis saying, now 8 KC-135 Strato tanker in the air and 7 in the last hour, way more than normal in the area. Okay, that's interesting. Thank you, Curtis, for that update and this for the super chat. And then we have Dom Dividend saying Saudi, Emirati, Qatar, Turkey, Jordan, Bahrain. Who's missing? Okay, so the list of the people that President Trump had a talk with in a call right before he posted his update on Truth Social were this is the full list, I think. Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Pakistan, Turkey, Egypt, Jordan, Bahrain, and Israel. But Israel was on a separate call, not with the rest of them. And then we have Ida saying, Armin, thank you, Ida, for the super chat, saying, Armin, your first reaction was so sad. It made my heart break. I'm worried about you. Thank you, Ida, for all your care. Really appreciate you. Ida also, another super chat saying, Armin, you're absolutely right. Thank you. Yeah, well, thank you. And to Ira, again, always appreciate your support. And we have Halda with a super chat saying, faith ends when people are being executed and killed for nothing. We have had no word from loved ones. Insanity. Iranians are literally in the dark. True. Thank you, Halda. And Halda with another super chat saying, peace is only acceptable with freedom. Peace is impossible with repression. I hope, but my heart breaks thinking of what Iranians are experiencing. Yeah, right now, I don't even know if I want to check my Telegram, because I'm pretty sure I see my Telegram is getting notification, and a lot of them are from people from Iran asking me. I'm pretty sure when I check them, I haven't checked them yet, but it's going to be so many people in Iran telling me like, Armin, what the fuck, we have been abandoned. Like I'm sure that a lot of my Telegram messages from Iran is going to be about just that. And then Uncle Coping saying, yes, peeps, come join us after you like and subs. Yes, guys, join our discussion group. It's really good. And the main page is, you could 24/7, you could have discussions in the main community page of our discussion group. You see the people here, they're amazing. They're very intelligent, very smart. And, we have our own group here, so come join us. And thank you, Uncle Coping, for the endorsement on the chat and for the super chat. That's very sweet. Amir saying, you all lack backbone, there's nothing final and you gave up. Well, yeah, Amir, it's okay, Amir. I appreciate you trying to keep hopes up, and that's very important, you're doing that. But also, I understand where people are coming from. You're right, you're completely right to tell people that they shouldn't be giving up. But it's, at least for Iranians, I also understand how difficult it is. But yeah, Amir, yes, we have to not give up. Even here's the thing, Amir, to your point, even if the Americans leave, we're not gonna give up. We're not allowed. We can't give up, even if the Americans completely leave. Even if that happens, we have no choice but continue to fight, right? And thank you, Amir, for the super chat. And Jedi saying, want me to reveal or later? Well, right now I have to go, but let's keep it a mystery for now. But maybe you could reveal later. Yeah, let's keep it a mystery. We don't know who Jedi is, and we'll figure it out later.